The last video I was showing you, I ran out of time on that one, so I'm going to continue with the last task that I got cut off on. So as I was saying, we want to make sure the I/O variables are being updated, so double click on Device, PLC Settings, and Always Update Variables. There are 3 options on here. Choose Enabled 1. Use bus cycle task if not used in any task. And I believe that's going to make sure that our I/O is going to be continually updated for us to look at, monitor, etc. Go ahead and click that. And that is done for that task. The next thing I want to do is just reference these inputs. I've got one program here, PLC program, and it's being run in the main task. I'm going to go ahead and add a global variable list. We'll just call it GVL. You can see it puts it up here. What a global variable list is, it's a set of variables which can be used from any reference from any program, as opposed to a PLC program. Individual program has their own local variables. So in the PLC program, I'm just going to add a couple rungs in here, and I'll just call it test bool 1, for example. I'm going to make that a type Boolean, and scope is variable, and it's in my program, local in my program. Just click OK. You'll see it shows it up here. I'll go ahead and set an output, and we'll call that test bool 2. Ask me where I want it. Same place, I'm going to keep it a local variable on Boolean. That looks good. I'm just going to copy this syntax structure here for the variables and go back to my global variable list. And I'll call this global test input 1, and create another one, global test input 2, and I'll do one more, global test input 0. And I can go back to my program if I wanted to, add a rung in there, and I can select it from my global variables. And away we go. So that's in there. Just a little test program, references a local variable and a global variable, and sets an output on a local variable. Go back to my digital inputs, show my mapping, and what it does is it shows a byte for the inputs and each individual input on here. I can assign it a variable name, and I'm going to call this first one on input X's input, IX, slot 0, input 0, and I'm going to map that to global test input 0. And you can see now that it's been mapped. It's got rid of this reference to the internal address on the system, and it's allowed me to reference it using global test input 0. And I'll do the same thing for the next two. And now they're mapped. So what this means is if I go back to PLC program, global test input 0 actually maps to digital inputs bit 0 of that card. I could do the same thing for the outputs if I wanted to. I'm not going to bother now. Map it there. And then once I've done, I might want to build it. Check to see I don't have any errors. No errors. And that's it. That's how you map global variables to physical digital inputs. Thank you.